Hello, everyone. This is something that actually Christy brought to mind for me. She was asking about the different schools of thought, which is something that you might have heard about as well. And if there's any merit to it, as a friend of hers was saying, oh, it's okay for me to ingest. I ascribe to the French school of thought. So I just wanted to go over exactly what this means, and I will tell you where you can find more information about this. You can find basically the print version of this actually inside of our learning center, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about this with you because it's super important and something that you have probably heard yourself. So this topic of differing schools of thought does come up from time to time in our safety group, or as I mentioned, I just got a PM today about it, and I thought it would be a good time to post or to actually have a podcast about this, a YouTube about this, so that more people can have this sort of information. Because it's actually a little bit misleading and not really what the aromatherapy experts really believe. So the theory goes that there are different schools of thought when it comes to using essential oils. That the French, they ingest essential oils, Germans, they inhale essential oils, and the British use essential oils topically. So if you like to ingest essential oils by adding them to your water, you are from the French school. This allows for certain companies to kind of toss aside safe usage recommendations by saying that they believe in the French way of using essential oils. This schools of thought misconception was presented in a popular book backed by a certain essential oil company, and it has been perpetuated ever since to justify, in my opinion, unsupervised ingestion by the untrained consumer. You will not find schools of thought taught in aromatherapy schools, you will not find it taught in my academy, and you will not find it taught or backed by aromatherapy organizations. The French school, how they really do it in France, let's talk about that. So in order to use essential oils internally in France, you must have medical supervision, as only doctors can prescribe essential oils for therapeutic use, including internal use. The most common way, and this may surprise you, but the most common way that they will prescribe internal use is in suppository form or in capsules, not in water. It just doesn't make sense to suggest adding essential oils to your drinking water for treating health issues when there are better methods available. So there's efficacy involved in here as well. Water and essential oils, they just don't mix, and this is quite ineffective when trying to treat a serious issue such as a respiratory infection or IBS. Yes, I said respiratory infection. We'll get to that in a minute. The essential oil is going to be rendered virtually useless once it hits the stomach, only after possibly irritating, burning, or eventually scarring the esophagus and the mouth as well. You can read more information from Tisserand Institute. I do have a link inside the Learning Center where the Tisserands actually visited France and learned more about the French aromatherapy and how they do it there. But I kind of just summed up for you what it really looks like over there. So in reality, there are actually different methods of using essential oils. This may or may not surprise you, right? We know about inhalation, we know about topical use, we know about ingesting. Those are different methods, different ways to use essential oils. They're not different schools. So when I went through my aromatherapy training at Aromahead Institute, I learned all methods of using essential oils have their place. All of the certified aromatherapists that I know acknowledge and respect that inhalation, topical use, and ingestion all have their place in aromatherapy. I really don't know any of us who wouldn't agree that internal use does have its place when done properly and for the right reasons. So let's talk about when internal use is an appropriate method. I think most of us understand that, when to use the inhalation diffusing method when we want to affect mood or emotions, and when to use the topical method for skin issues, but it's not always clear when internal use is an appropriate response. There's just so much misinformation out there when it comes to internal use. But here are some of the more common ways that essential oils are used internally, according to Rhiannon Lewis, an essential oil expert from France. So, rectal suppositories for hemorrhoids or anal fissure or itching, rectal suppositories for respiratory issues such as bronchitis, yes, vaginal suppositories, otherwise known as pessaries, for disturbed flora such as candida. Now, that may surprise you as far as the respiratory issues. I know this surprised me as well. I'm like, okay, what does my colon have anything to do with my lungs? I don't get it. But rectal suppositories are effective due to the large blood supply in the colon. 2/3 of the dose goes systemic, which is full body, in your blood supply, with only 1/3 of the dose going to the liver, which decreases the burden on the liver, unlike things that you swallow and consume via the mouth. So incidentally, when asked about using essential oils in water as a method of internal ingestion, Lewis responded, "I don't understand why it's done, and that essential oils are not nutritional supplements," which is true. They don't have vitamins, they don't contain minerals. But they are potent, and that she is quite concerned about long-term gut flora. Absolutely, I agree as well, because if you are consuming antibacterial essential oils, we have bacteria all lining from the moment, anything hits our mouth all the way through to the other end. We are lined with bacteria. We are mostly bacteria, right? And definitely it's all in our gut. So if we are believing that essential oils destroy bacteria, we are using them in our cleaning supplies and hand sanitizers and all of that, why are we consuming them and then wondering why we may have gut issues? But I digress. According to Salvatore Battaglia's book, The Complete Guide to Aromatherapy, some of the advantages of suppositories are more rapid absorption of essential oils into the body, absence of interaction between the GI tract or liver, which possibly breaks down the essential oils. Adverse effects on liver are reduced as the liver is not being overworked. Battaglia does caution that occasional irritation to the rectum is risk, and similar safety issues to those of oral administration need to be considered. So the conclusion is 99% of the time, inhalation and topical use are going to be the most effective methods for administering essential oils. Ingestion does have its place, but it is important that you have professional guidance if you choose this method. So please use essential oils safely and responsibly. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you heard me mention my academy a few times and you're like, wait, what? You have an academy now? Yes, applications. I am taking applications. You can go to eosafetyacademy.com/apply, and you can apply to see if you are a good fit. And if you are, I will invite you to my personal private presentation that I will be hosting next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. EST to go into all of the nitty-gritty and the details and see if that is something that you want to join me in as a pioneer of the Essential Oil Safety Academy. So I hope you enjoyed something. Feel free to share with a friend that needs to hear this too. Talk to you later.